Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me again. So only 2 videos today, mind you. It's been 2 for a little while now, hasn't it? What I wanted to do was let you know about what's going on with the live tomorrow. You know, up until this point, I've been for Great Britain, or publicly been for Great Britain, the Union of Great Britain, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and everything else. But in my heart, in my soul, I'm English. I was born in England, raised in England, and by God, I'll probably die here too at some point in the future. Any English people among you, I'm sure you feel the same. And I can really see the trouble that the Union, the United Kingdom, has caused. And that's all it is at the end of the day, a union. A bit like the Soviet Union, or a bit like the European Union. Unions come and go. You know, picture this. Could we all survive as independent countries on this lump of land known as Great Britain and get on, cooperate? Yeah, of course we could. Doesn't mean it has to be the way it is. Have a look at 1706 and 1707, the Acts of Union. Well, there's a very interesting guy, goes by the name of Graham Moore. He's going to be standing in the Runcorn and Helsby by-election on May the 1st. And he is the chairman of the English Constitution Society, and he's the head of the English Constitution Party, which also happens to be their manifesto. I've done an awful lot of research over the last couple of 3 weeks or so, really scratched the surface, looking at historical acts and all that sort of thing. And it makes you really take stock and look at what's going on in this country of ours, England. In fact, what's been going on for the last few hundred years. And it's like a series of very carefully planned, very carefully timed things designed to put us all in a position. If you look at Westminster, you've got this thing where you've got a certain number of MPs representing each country, and it's a little bit disproportionate, the say that each MP has over different areas. In short, it doesn't work anymore. I don't think it really has done for a long time. Now, one thing I'd love to see is for England to have proper representation. I'd love to see an English Parliament. You know, if you went on to AI or artificial intelligence of any kind and said, do we have English MPs? It would turn around and tell you, yeah, we have English MPs. And then where you say, are they English or are they British? They'll turn around and say, well, actually, technically, they're British. So we don't have any representation in that Parliament. Yet the Scots and the Welsh, and to an extent the Northern Irish, can have a say and contribute to what happens in England. It's all wrong, isn't it? All completely wrong. And stuff like this, constitutional law, they stopped teaching it in schools probably sometime in the early 70s, where things started to change, like where we got signed up to that bloody European thing by Edward Heath. And then people like me are born in the 70s, and we get taught a different way of thinking. And, you know, the country is being steered in a direction. And this is how they do it, isn't it? They set up the long goal, they set up the end game, and they approach it over a number of years. Well, people start to wake up, and this is where probably the internet, the World Wide Web, has come into its own, because people have a vast amount of information from a vast number of sources they can then check in with and find out the truth, find out what's really going on out there. And then these blinkers start opening and you think, my God, what the hell's gone on? And that's happened in this case. 140,000 others that join this channel. All I really do is try and educate. Anyway, back to Graham Moore. Graham Moore, as I said, is the leader of the English Constitution Party. And for the last, I think he said 30 years, he's pretty much made it his life's work to study that Constitution, everything about it, and how it ties into what we understand to be true, what we understand to be just in this day and age. And when you start looking at it, you start interrogating it, you think, what's going on? Well, on Sunday, I'm very much looking forward to this, tomorrow at 8:30, you can see the thumbnail here, I'm going to be talking to Graham about all of this, what's really going on, a little bit about the Runcorn and Helsby by-election, and what he hopes to achieve. You know, people like the English Constitution Party are considered fringe. They're considered, you know, no chance in hell of getting anywhere. A bit like Reform were once upon a time. You look at all of the mainstream attention they get now. Crazy, isn't it? Well, if you get enough alternative media presence trying to help promote these fringe parties, hopefully we will get somewhere. You know, what I'd like to see on May the 1st, I'd like to see Reform do well at the council elections, because the amount of momentum that they've created for themselves over this last few months, I do believe that can be used to good effect to really give Starmer a bop right there on the toot. Because at the end of the day, he needs to understand he can't have it his own way. But as far as Member of Parliament goes, I wouldn't want to see Sarah Potion win Runcorn and Helsby. I'd like to see Graham Moore win Runcorn and Helsby, purely because of the Englishman in me, and purely because I think Nigel Farage needs to understand that, you know, you promised us a lot. You seem to be diverting away just a little bit, and you need to be put back on the right and true course again. That's what I believe. And then when we get to 2029, or whenever it happens to be, we'll have to see what goes on then. But as I said, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can hop onto it too. At 8:30 tomorrow evening, I'll be having that chat with Graham. I look forward to it. I hope to see you there too. Anyway, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, have a look at these videos. As always, I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.